copy in our archives of a remarkable letter from Carl Lohman, who was the Yale class of 1910, a founding member of the Spizzwinks. Lohman would serve as Yale's secretary for 34 years. The letter's dated in February of 1944. To put that into perspective, the Allies were landing at Enzio, and Leningrad had just been relieved after a 900-day siege by the Nazis. The year before, the war effort had forced the WIFs to suspend operation, and they placed their affairs in an advisory board featuring the great Marshal Bartholomew, Mr. Lohman, and Messrs. Clement and Vale. Quoting from Mr. Lohman's letter, "We want to make the war interval between active groups of Spizzwinks a bit shorter, and to that end, we expect to admit into the fold the following 8 boys who for the past 6 months have been singing together as Spizzwinks. They have met at least once a week, have learned a great many songs, and they are very good lads indeed." Ladies and gentlemen, some 65 years later, it is my privilege to introduce one of those very good lads, Mr. William Henry Oler II, Yale class of 1945, our most seasoned Spizzwink.
Thank you. Did you all hear me all right? I stand before you as a relic. I'm absolutely certain that there's not one of you sitting out there who aspires to be the oldest living speaker. There I am. And Jeff and Roger asked me to say a few words. So I'm trying to figure out what to say, and I thought maybe I'd give you a little ancient history. Not Spizzwink ancient history. As we all know, the Spizzwink started in 1914 as our 95th reunion. But then, for some reason or other, there were no successors, and as a result, the Spizzwinks were defunct for almost 30 years, until the class of 1943. As you heard, they were resurrected by Jack Butler and sung as Spizzwinks. But the class of 1943 was actually admitted to Yale in 1939. And they probably sang as Spizzwinks in 1940 and 1941. But by 1942, those Spizzwinks had either gone off to war or they had gotten elected into this Spizzwinks. In any event, there were no more Spizzwinks at that time. Well, I got to Yale in the fall of 1941. And the first thing I did was to try to get into the freshman glee club. And the second thing I did once I got into the freshman glee club was to get 7 other singers in the freshman glee club to put together an octet. And in deference to the first leader of the glee club, we called ourselves the Gustav J. Stigl Memorial Choral Society. And we sang together for freshman year, filling in the intermissions of the freshman glee club and doing other travels with them and singing around the old campus. And then in the spring of 1942, as you all know, what happened in December 7th, 1941 was Pearl Harbor, and it completely changed Yale. So by the time our class finished up its freshman year in 1942, both of our first tenors had left for the service. But by that time, Yale was in full military mode, and they advanced the schedules, accelerating the classes, and brought a whole new class in July of 1942, which, because they were bringing another class in the fall, they called this class 1945W for war. Well, having no tenors, we decided to pluck 3 from the class of 1945W, which we did. But we were then looking around for a coach and someone who could help us with our arrangements. And we were very lucky to be able to pick out a legendary Spizzwink by the name of Dudley L. Miller, who, because he had diabetes, was ineligible to go to war for World War II, and went to law school and was willing to come and coach us, except that he didn't like our name. So he said, you are going to have to change that name if I'm coming to coach you. So consequently, he suggested that we call ourselves Spizzwinks. And as a result, the Spizzwinks were reborn again. Well, we sang together for the year of 1943. And as you just heard, in the spring of 1944, in February of 1944, Carl Lohman and the other trustees, Marcia Bartholomew, got together and decided that I'm sure Doug Miller swung a few arms in there, but got us all elected into the Whiffenpoofs. And that was the first time in Whiffenpoof history, and the only time in Spizzwink history, that the entire group of Spizzwinks came into the Whiffenpoofs. It was also the only time in Whiffenpoof history that they elected one entire singing group, including one freshman and 3 sophomores. But then the Spizzwinks were defunct again. When the Latin World War II in 1946, when Bill Guard came with his singers, and they recreated the name of Spizzwink. And thanks to all of you gentlemen sitting here, you've been continuously going ever since then for almost 60 years, and that is a real achievement. So I want to congratulate you and to thank you for being such enthusiastic singers. You have definitely inspired other singing groups along the Yale campus, as well as other colleges around the nation, and also some alumni singing groups, including Bill Guard, when he went back out to Detroit, became the Gunyons, and it's still going, just 20 years later. Well, I'd like to leave you a cautionary note. All of you Spizzwinks have wives or girlfriends. And a while ago, I came down to breakfast, and my wife had cut a piece out of the paper, and put it in front of me at breakfast. And it was an Associated Press release from an event that had happened in Denver, Colorado. And I looked at it, and it seems that this woman was getting a divorce from her husband. And the judge was having a preliminary hearing to find out what the facts of the case. So he asked the woman, "Madam," he said, "why are you getting a divorce from your husband?" She said, "Well, Your Honor, I've been married to a Yale man for 25 years, and I've had it up to here with Orly and all them blackbirds."